Hello friends, welcome to another video on the environment. In this video, we will try to understand what is El Nino and La Nina phenomena, what is its effect on Indian monsoon, and finally we will also try to understand how El Nino imposes risk to our health. So let us start with El Nino and La Nina phenomena. Before we talk about El Nino and La Nina phenomena, let us first try to understand what is trade winds. Trade winds are basically a movement of wind or air across the Earth's surface. Trade winds play an important role in shaping weather patterns, ocean currents, and climate around the world. They have influenced historical trade routes and are still used in modern navigation, particularly in sailing and aviation. In addition, trade winds can affect phenomena such as the El Nino Southern Oscillation ENSO in the Pacific Ocean, which has global climate implications. Trade winds are persistent, steady winds that blow in a particular direction across the Earth's surface. They are a type of wind that occurs in the tropics, specifically between the equator and about 30-degree latitude in both the northern and southern hemisphere. Trade winds are known for their reliability and consistency, and they have historically been used by sailors for navigation. The trade winds are caused by the global atmospheric circulation patterns driven by differences in temperature and pressure between the equator and the poles. Near the equator, the warm air rises, creating a low pressure area, while cooler air from higher latitude flows towards the equator to replace it, creating a high pressure area. This results in the trade winds blowing from east to west, from the subtropical high pressure belts towards the equator, where they converge and rise. One important concept to understand here is that when the air is hot, it is lighter in weight and it moves upward in the atmosphere. And again, in the upward part of the atmosphere, it becomes cold, so it becomes heavy in weight and it try to comes downwards on the surface of the earth. Now let us talk about El Nino and La Nina phenomena. ENSO stand for El Nino Southern Oscillation, which is a climate phenomena that refers to the cyclic changes in the sea surface temperature, atmospheric pressure, and oceanic and atmospheric circulation pattern in the tropical Pacific Ocean. ENSO is a natural climate variability that typically occurs on an irregular time frame of 2 to 7 years and has a global impact on weather and climate patterns. Oscillation means movement. Basically, it is a movement back and forth in a regular rhythm. Under the normal circumstances, there will be hot water in the central regions of Pacific Oceans. Similarly, the cold water is confined to the coastal margins of Southern America. Moreover, there is a high pressure region towards the South American side of South Pacific Oceans, and there is a low pressure region towards the Australian side. We already discussed that how wind moves from high pressure region to low pressure region. So we can see a wind current moving from high pressure to low pressure regions. This wind current along with it drags the warmer water towards the Australian side, and similarly it also drags the colder water from South American coast. We can see here that this warmer water is moving towards Australian side and increase its amount. Similarly, amount of cold water rises on the South American side known as upwelling, which brings nutrient-rich water in this region and it is good for fishing. Now let's talk about El Nino Southern Oscillation. ENSO has two main phases. El Nino. This phase occurs when sea surface temperatures in the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean become unusually warm, disrupting normal atmospheric and oceanic patterns. El Nino is characterized by weakened trade winds, reduced upwelling of cold nutrient rich waters in the eastern Pacific, changes in atmospheric pressure patterns, and impact on global weather patterns, such as changes in the precipitation, temperature anomalies, and extreme weather events. As this phenomena mostly occurs at the southern hemisphere, just right below the equator, El Nino sometimes also called as southern oscillations. During El Nino, the lower pressure region changes to higher pressure region and the higher pressure region changes to lower pressure regions. Earlier, there was a lot of rainfall over Australian and Indonesian region because the wind currents were rising over there. But due to El Nino, there is no rain. Though the inland parts of Australia witness a severe drought condition, but on the other hand, near the Peruvian coast, the warm pool of ocean current brings heavy rain flood to American continent. You might be wondering why this phenomenon is happening in Pacific Oceans. The reason is that the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of the world ocean basins, covering approximately 63 million square miles and containing more than half of the free water on Earth. The Pacific is by far the largest of the world's ocean basins. All of the world's continents could fit into the Pacific basins. La Nina. This phase occurs when sea surface temperature in the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean become unusually cool, leading to opposite effects compared to El Nino. La Nina is characterized by stronger trade winds and hence upwelling of cold nutrient-rich waters in the eastern Pacific. So basically it is the exaggerated form of usual trade winds and rain pattern. El Nino and La Nina episodes typically last 9 to 12 months, but some prolonged event may last for years. In Spanish, El Nino means the little boy and La Nina means the little girl. In that region, it happens in winter, but here in India is a summer at the same time. While their frequency can be quite irregular, El Nino and La Nina events occur on an average every 2 to 7 years. As per the recent study, this phenomenon will become stronger by 2030. Now let us talk about how El Nino affects Indian monsoon. The normal monsoon in India occurs due to a combination of factors. First is differential heating. During summer, the landmass of India heats up more rapidly than our surrounding seas, creating a temperature gradient between the land and the ocean. This causes low pressure to form over Indian subcontinent, particularly over the northern plains, while high pressure prevails over the Indian Ocean. This temperature difference sets up the monsoonal circulation. Second, Intertropical Convergence Zone (ITCZ). The ITCZ, also known as the monsoon top, is a low pressure belt that migrates northwards from the southern hemisphere towards the Indian subcontinent during the summer months. As it moves north, it brings with it moisture laden winds from the Indian Ocean, which converge over the subcontinent, leading to the onset of monsoon rainfall. Third, trade winds. The trade winds from southern hemisphere known as the southeast trade winds blow across the Indian Ocean and are deflected towards the west by Coriolis effect. These trade winds combine with the monsoonal circulation and the ITCZ result in the southwest monsoon winds that bring rainfall to India. Fourth, topography. The geography and topography of Indian subcontinent also play a role in normal monsoon. The Western Ghats, a mountain range along the west coast of India, act as a barrier forcing the moisture-laden winds from the Arabian Sea to rise and cool, resulting in heavy rainfall on the windward side of the mountains. Lastly, the sea surface temperatures. The temperature of Indian Ocean also affect the normal monsoon in India. Warmer than normal sea surface temperatures in the tropical eastern Indian Ocean near the Indonesian archipelago can enhance the monsoon rainfall, while cooler than normal sea surface temperatures in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, known as El Nino, can weaken the monsoon. Does El Nino have any effect on our health? El Nino can impact human health by increasing infectious diseases. El Nino can lead to an increase in the occurrence of infectious diseases such as dengue fever, malaria, and cholera. This is because the increased rainfall and warmer temperatures associated with El Nino can create ideal breeding conditions for disease carrying mosquitoes and other insects. Respiratory illness. El Nino can also contribute to poor air quality and increase in respiratory illnesses such as asthma and allergies. This is due to the higher temperature and humidity, which can lead to an increase in air pollution, including smog and smoke from wildfires. Malnutrition. El Nino can also result in food insecurity and malnutrition in some areas, as it can cause drought or flood, which can damage crops and decrease food production. Mental health. El Nino can also have an impact on mental health, particularly in areas that experience extreme weather events such as flood or hurricanes. These events can lead to displacement, loss of homes, and disruption of daily routines, which can contribute to stress, anxiety, and depression. And lastly, waterborne diseases. It can also increase the risk of waterborne diseases such as cholera, as it can cause flooding and contamination of water sources.